He's Bill Ryder, and he's Ryder than you.
The program Ryder than you, sometimes.
He's a fan.
I love sports so much.
He's in your face.
I will destroy those obnoxiously arrogant, clueless, tone-deaf superstars who are marginal players, good players, who made careers, who think they're Hall of Famers.
He's nice.
I promise, we're nice here.
He's humble.
I think I'm pretty good if you're on the show about admitting if I got it wrong.
Live from Los Angeles, here's Bill Ryder.
All right, another week, another show. We are into the actual NBA playoffs. Let me get some programming notes out of the way here. BillRyder.substack.com. You can listen on Spotify, like my guy BK, newest subscriber on Spotify. He's on my tennis team. He's really good, though. He's different level than I am. Not cool, Bernard. You can listen on Apple. You can listen wherever you get your pods. So here's the deal. Today's pod, the Monday pod, obviously happening. Stuart Kovacs is here. I'm going to give a theory on Wembanyama, Victor Wembanyama, in the first playoff opportunity for the Spurs in 8 years. They get it done. Wemby was absolutely amazing. I'm going to get Stu's take on that. We're going to go through some of the playoffs series, see if we think any of these teams can make a comeback. I'm going to do a humble brag about something I got wrong. Ooh, how does he pull that off? We'll find out later in the show. And whether or not you or I or Stu should feel any angst or put out about one of the people, Luka Doncic, left out of the MVP finalist conversation. But just a programming note for you very, very quickly.
Live programming alert.
So, obnoxious alert. I have a job, and I have a lot of Marriott points through the years, and my wife is cool, and that means that I'm getting on a plane here in a little bit and flying to Barcelona, where I'm going to be that. It's really weird staying at hotels on points because they're a little put out when you're there as long as I'm going to be there. So the shows are going to be a little intermittent going forward over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be abroad for 2 weeks, hanging out with the buddies, seeing my parents. They're there. Bear with me. I appreciate your support. We're going to keep doing shows. I promise, and thank you for all the loyalty and all the listeners that we've had. Let me give you quickly my Victor Wembanyama theory. This hit me today. And really hit me yesterday. And let me, then I'll run it by Stu, who Stu is listening, but I can see that he's got like girls he's trying to get rid of or something. There's like a bunch of in the party and vibe scene, so this is good. He can just wait while he clears the house, as TGS, Two Girls Stu. Those of you that know. Those of you that are new, like BK, it's an inside joke. We'll try to do fewer of them for the new listeners. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama is remarkable and a freak of nature and going to redefine excellence in the NBA the way that Steph Curry did. Obviously, Steph Curry is on the way out of his NBA excellence. Steve Kerr hinting if the Warriors not making the playoffs that his time may be up, and Steph sounding like somebody who's sort of given up the ghost, at least as it relates to probably winning championships with the Warriors. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs are on the rise. Not the beating the Portland Trailblazers 111-98 in the opening game of the playoffs makes you a champion, and you have to get championships, plural, to get to the level that Steph's at. For me, Steph's a top 5 player of all time, right? Just me. You can debate it. It's Mike LeBron or LeBron Mike. I think it's Mike LeBron for me. Then it's Kareem. Then it's Shaq or Steph Curry for me. That's how highly I regard Steph. But there are two things about Stephen Curry, outside of the particulars of how he plays and his greatness and his dominance, different than how Wembanyama will do it. Victor Wembanyama is going to be the defensive player of the year, right? I mean, for years and years to come, including this year. But two things struck me. One of them goes back to an old Tom Haberstroh article that went deep into the math. Tom is a very excellent NBA writer, a sabermetrician, analytics guy, that he quantified, and this goes back to when Durant was a part of the Warriors teams. He quantified the ways in which Steph was more impactful with math, not with vibes like I like to throw at you, with math than Kevin Durant. And he talked about the gravity that Steph creates on the floor, the attention to Steph Curry, the double teams, the fact, and even today to a degree, but back in the day at the height of Steph Curry's powers, when he would cross half court because of his range as a shooter, guys would be on him, and it would stretch soccer fans. When I'm talking, it would stretch the court in a way that was really unusual. I have not seen, and I'm not talking dominance or excellence. I'm saying gravity. I'm saying the physics of a player changing the physics of a basketball game. Victor Wembanyama does that. And watching that game on Sunday night and what happened with Portland, and Wembanyama was amazing. What did he finish with? I've got it in front of me. 35 points. He hit a bunch of threes. He's so great. He almost dunked a basketball from behind the rim at the end of the game where he actually got fouled. I mean, he's doing things that are absolutely freakish. There was a play in the fourth quarter where he got hit in the face twice and then went up for a little bunny and took the foul. That's while he's making 3-point shots. this array of excellence, the ways in which Wembanyama dominates offensively in ways we haven't seen before, creates the same kind of gravity. It's not the same kind of play as Steph Curry, but the way the guys have to attend to him, the double teams, how much they worry about him, the fact that at every level of the floor, every part of the floor, he can score, he can impact things. There were so many opportunities for his teammates to have an easier life, to have less defensive pressure, fewer guys on them, just attention on Wembanyama. That was the first thing that struck me. I haven't. Is he as good as Jokic right now? No, he's not as good as Jokic right now. Is he as good as some of the other guys that are out there? I mean, he's not LeBron at the height of LeBron's powers. Not yet. But the gravity is different. And then the second thing is the gravity off of the court. And this is a vibes thing. This is not a Haberstroh math thing. I am drawn to Victor Wembanyama as a fan in a way that I haven't been LeBron James. And I haven't been Anthony Edwards. And I know I should be with Nikola Jokic. Like, I know Jokic. Jokic is kind of like Aaron Judge, I guess. Maybe like amazing, but and like awesome, but man, not Shohei Ohtani in terms of my attention. Wembanyama draws me. He pulls me in a way that Steph did. Steph was never as good as LeBron in the totality of his career, but I would rather watch Steph play for some reason. There was a vibes thing. And Stu, I got Stu. I was like, sorry, Stewie. You got a cold there, buddy? That was not, you know what? This is on me. I'm air horning myself. I brought Stu on when he didn't even expect it. Wembanyama to me is Steph Curry because of what he can be for a franchise that needs him, but also just the attention that guys have to pay to him on the court and the way that it makes life so much easier for his teammates in ways that I think are hard to quantify unless you're Tom Haberstroh, and the ways in which what he's doing, both these guys, I am more drawn to Victor Wembanyama as a sports fan than any other player that's currently playing in the NBA. And for me, it's like Shohei Ohtani. It's not even close.
Yeah, and the vibes thing I think is fair. And of all the NBA guys right now, the few years that he's been in the league, he's the only guy that I've actually been like, oh, Wemby's playing the Knicks. Oh, Wemby's playing the Nets. Let's try to go to a game. And it hasn't worked yet. The Knicks, forget it, because the Knicks, you'll have to pay like $400 just to get in that place to see that team play.
Is that the cost?
Yeah. It was really expensive the last few times.
$400?
Yeah, it was just to get in like $300-400. Yep.
I'm going to Barcelona on Wednesday to see Barca play, which is always too much because of loser tourists like me. And it's not even that much.
I'm sure it's not.
I'm used to getting to go to NBA games for free, Stewie. So I'm a little. You're speaking a different language to me that I haven't had to communicate in, for the language of dollars and cents. Wow.
But to your point, like, I haven't done that with Luka. I haven't done that with Jokic. I've seen Jokic a few times, but I haven't.
He's great.
Gone out of my way to see him. I haven't done that with SGA. But Wemby is a different guy. He just has. You're right. It's just different. It's just how freakish of an athlete he is. The stuff he does at his position, shooting threes, shooting like fadeaway threes from the corner. I mean, he's just an incredible player. He's a guy you have to see in person at some point. And hopefully next year I'll be able to do that. But yeah, I haven't done that really with any other player really since Steph.
I have an idea. Next year.
Okay.
Let's try to credential. Oh, the Knicks are going to be hard because they don't really like media.
The Knicks don't like anyone.
Let's try to credential you through Writer Than You.
Okay.
And we can do a whole bit on it. When he goes to the Nets, it's possible because I could write the GM.
Oh.
If he's still there, if Marks is still there, and be like, I might be there, I might send my guy there, I'd love to see you.
Yeah.
And then I'll send the PR guy a note. Can you credential me and Stu? And then I'll bow out at the last second or not show up. All right, okay. We're gonna try it. All right, I'm gonna put a little bow on this, and then we're gonna do a fake break, and then we're gonna come back and go through all the games. But your Steph thing, you're right in terms of like how it makes you feel. I have only seen Wembanyama play his rookie year in person, so I've seen him. But I haven't seen him play now. I went to every single one of Steph's final runs, except for. Were they in the finals in 2012? Probably not, right? That was a little, well, maybe.
Oh, Steph? No, that was
that was Cleveland. Anyway, I skipped that one because Henry was born. But anyway, okay. I've been to all the finals, and I've been to all of them with Steph. And again, this is first world problems, but I've covered the Olympics, I've covered Super Bowls, whatever, you name it, other than hockey, I've covered it. And I've been there in person, nice little benefit of the job. I can remember multiple times, Stu, multiple different finals, being in the old Oracle, sitting in kind of like the corner, like pretty good seats. And Steph was doing things that were Steph-like. And that place, the old Oracle, would rock and shake, as exciting as any place I've been. Reminded me of Arrowhead at the top of its powers, or Fall Gallon. Okay, I'm a Midwest guy, so that's a lot of my sort of where I've been. And thinking this as a sports writer who gets a little sports media guy, who gets a little everything. What's the old expression? Somebody somewhere is tired of buying Holly Berry a Valentine's Day card. I don't think that's the expression, but you know what I'm saying. You know what you're picking them on putting down. By the way,
I like it.
I love Valentine's Day cards. Like, get poor Holly a Valentine's Day card. That can happen as watching sports stuff. Somebody somewhere is tired of being in the Super Bowl. Me, I used to skip games. I was in awe of Steph in a way that was I remember a couple times sitting there. Once I was next to Adrian Wojnarowski, and I got goosebumps, and I thought, this is not professional, but I just knew I was watching something at a combination of culture and history and sports. And by the way, again, worth rooting for. Amazing. Like, I like Steph, and the 3-point shooting was new at the time, or newish, and brave new world before the math caught up to it. I think Wembanyama is going to offer the exact same kind of magic. The way that I feel about Wembanyama is the way the girls at the club in New York City felt about you, Stu, and your single TGS 2 Girls Stu days. That's, you know what I'm saying?
I certainly know what you're saying. Yes.
Stu totally gets it. All right. I've already gone 11 minutes, and I don't want to go too long, and Park, I have to catch this plane. So we're gonna do a fake break. BillWriter.substack.com. By the way, my guy Jeff, who's my buddy, I assume these guys never. He pays for the pod. I'm like, okay, he's being nice. I made a little crack about him the other day as a joke.
Oh, he heard it.
And he was listening. Yeah. So let me do this. Because I'm like, oh, he's a legend. You go, you're being sarcastic. Jeff, Captain, we got to give him a name. Tennis Captain Jeff, TCJ, okay? Tennis Captain Jeff is one of my favorite dudes. He really is. And he wrote an amazing, ridiculous recap of our USTA tennis team that was as funny a thing as I've read. So I had to one-up him and write one the next week. And I'm going to read it the next time we do a letter, like a mailbag. I'm going to read a few of these. Because some of them about me apparently being a little aggressive, Stu, being a little aggressive.
Oh, no.
Stay classy, writer. Tennis Captain Jeff did turn to me 2 days ago and go, hey, let's stay classy. And in my heat of the moment, I go, I can't. I'm not classy. So there we go.
I'm not capable of doing this.
Don't ask the impossible, Tennis Captain Jeff. All right, we're going to be right back. We're going to go through this weekend's action, and we're going to talk about my humble brag on something I got wrong. Well, how do we pull that off? And we'll go through every one of these games and just see because every game basically, except for my humble brag that I got wrong, went the way you would expect it to go, especially with Durant not playing for the Rockets in that game. That is coming up after Stu and I are very quiet in a fake break. If I push the button right.
He's Bill Ryder, and he's always right. It's Ryder than you.
You did a great job. And I was just like, why are we still on the screen? Oh, I pushed the bleeping buttons. What do you want first, dude? Do you want the humble brag on the thing I got wrong?
I kind of want the humble brag. Yeah, okay, I'm kind of intrigued by this. This is great.
So Tommy and I think it was Tom and I. If it was you and I apologize. Did our Were you there for the prediction show, or is that me and Tom? I think it was me and Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, good. He's my second favorite. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you're my guy, Stu. At least when you're here. I took Charlotte to beat the Pistons in that series, which was a pretty big humble. I'm right. They did not make the playoffs. They lost in the play-in, but the Orlando Magic made it. And they beat the Pistons in the first game. It's the only upset that happened from a seeding perspective. And I would have argued that Houston would have not been an underdog, even at on the road. We'll get to this against the Lakers, 5-4, had Durant play, but he didn't because he had Kevin Durantism, which is a condition where you're always unavailable all the time and pretend you're Michael Jordan. We'll get to that later in the program. Orlando Magic beat the Pistons 112-101. Now, the Magic were supposed to be a team that made a big leap this year. They were supposed to be a team that was markedly better than last season. A lot of people like them to be kind of maybe replace the Sixers as a 3 or 4 seed that could make a run if everything went the right way. They had to go through the play-in. But man, they had so much. They look like they were more experienced, and they have the sort of, they can be sort of chill. I was going to go big word, insouciant. They just look chill, whereas the Pistons have a lot to live up to. Now, you win a game doesn't mean it's a series. Do you feel utterly confident the Pistons win the series too, or do you want to readjust your thinking? Because Orlando beat them pretty handily, and Boncaro was awesome in that game.
Yeah, Boncaro was really good. They were kind of balanced. Like I feel like the Pistons,
5 guys, I think, had 15 or 16 points, right?
Yeah, and I know Cade was pretty much all of the offense for the Pistons, and he, I guess, played a good game. But you can't just win with one guy in the NBA playoffs. And yeah, I still think the Pistons will win this series, but I think this is going to go long. This is going to go 6 or 7 games. It might go 7, honestly.
Here's what I think. This is my humble brag that I got wrong. I'm a Pistons doubter. I don't believe in the Pistons. I'm disrespectful to Detroit. I can be completely wrong. You should never, ever go to bed angry at your wife, and you should never make sweeping proclamations about an NBA playoff series after one game of a series. I fail on that front a lot of times on both counts, dude. I can be better. I don't think I don't think the Pistons are legit. I know the Magic aren't. So the real test will come next series, assuming you're right. All right, let's go. I'm just going to go through the games in the order they happened. Cleveland against the Raptors. This is expected. This is it's a 4-5. Cleveland. Look, Cleveland's got a lot of talent. They have first round win written all over them. James Harden was very, very good in this game. I think he almost had a triple double. I think it was a couple assists short. They're not going to live up to expectations because Harden does not perform at the level he needs to when you get deeper in the playoffs. I think Toronto's a very well coached team that's overperformed. But this is very expected to me. Do you want to make a case for the Raptors winning this series or making a series of it?
No, I don't want to make a case for the Raptors. Brandon Ingram only shooting, I think, one shot in the second half is probably not a good recipe for success. And I don't know. I always kind of thought the Cavs would win this series, but assuming the Cavs win this series, it kind of makes the next series interesting because let's say it's the Cavs, you're either going to get the Pistons, who again we've just kind of discussed those question marks, or you're going to get.
I had the Hornets Magic going to the conference finals. I think in my prediction.
Oh, that's great! Oh, I love it. Maybe now it's the Magic. Maybe now it's the Magic. Maybe the Magic are the team that squeaks by the Pistons and then beat the Cavs. Wouldn't it be crazy? It wouldn't be crazy.
James Harden is the Doc Rivers of NBA play. Well, you know that. Let me take that. That's the meanest thing I've ever said about James Harden. I take it back but it's pretty close to true.
It is.
All right. Nuggets beat up on the Timberwolves. Man, the T-Wolves the game was in Denver. It's a 3-6. It's so weird because Denver's actually not a very good basketball team. They're the best offensive team in the NBA. They are bad. They're not mediocre. They're bad defensively. And I bring this up a lot. They're also one of only 3 teams in the last 30 years that are bad defensively that have won an NBA championship. They did that because Jokic is an absolute historical beast of greatness. It's Denver all the way, and it goes against everything I believe in and evaluate. And the other thing is the Timberwolves are extremely balanced, and Anthony Edwards is good enough to take over series, but something's just been missing from him the last year and a half. I don't know what it is. They're still a top 10 team defensively, Minnesota. They've regressed a little bit offensively. They're 11 or 12. They're not top 10. I think that Minnesota can win a couple games, but this feels like an easy Denver wins this series prediction.
I agree with that. Jokic is going to play like the way Jokic is going to always play. He's the best player in the series, as good as Anthony Edwards is. Plus, Jamal Murray in the playoffs is just a different player. Like
what is that about?
A fine player in the regular season, but once he goes to the playoffs, he kind of plays like Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan almost. You almost have a dynamic duo, which is kind of crazy to say. I feel like we're sleeping on the Nuggets a little bit from the idea of, okay, if there is a team that can upset the Spurs, maybe get to the conference finals. Again, I don't think they're winning the West, but if there is a team that is not the Spurs,
I think they can, dude.
I think it's the Nuggets. I think they're the 3rd best team in the West.
I'm 100% with you. I think there are 3 teams that can come out of the West, barring injuries. I think the Nuggets are one of them, and I don't think it's 9%. I think it's, let me do it real quick. I think it's 55% Oklahoma City. I think it's 30% the Spurs, and I think it's 15%, if I did that math right,
Yeah.
Denver. I think Denver's got a puncher's chance, and I actually, it's why I think the 1 seed was critically important, was really significant, because
You avoid the 2-3.
Yeah.
I think you're right. You avoid the Nuggets, because if that was the Thunder, then it would be the Thunder Nuggets
having
in
to
that second round.
take that chance, right? Be only a 70% favorite, 80% favorite, or whatever it is. The Jamal Murray thing is a great call. It's as the kids would say, it's a great shout, Stu. You clocked me. Did you get that? Oh, you don't. Have
I've
kids, you
never
know,
heard of that.
no.
Clocked. I've not heard that one.
Whenever I'll be driving my kids home, and whatever. It's mom's night to make dinner, and Madeline will go, Dad, it's your night to make dinner. And Henry will go, oh, you got clocked, Dad, you got clocked.
Oh, no.
Which means you got God, I guess. We got you. I don't know. I get clocked all the time. But now I get clocked for nothing. How was your day? How was your day? It was fine. Oh, you got clocked. Like, okay, all right, let's just drive home in silence.
You got clocked.
You got clocked. All right. Knicks, Hawks. I did not catch much of this game.
Oh, good. I did. I watched
topic.
a lot of this game, yes.
Hit me with what you saw.
Brunson was incredible. He absolutely dominated the first quarter and the first half. He kind of cooled off a little later in the game. But Cat picked up the slack as we kind of got into the third and fourth quarter. Knicks took the foot off the pedal a little in the fourth. It kind of got closer than it was, but this was really not too competitive, at least going into that fourth quarter. I do think the Hawks will win a game or two this series. I don't think this is going to be like a sweep for the Knicks. I think the Knicks are a bit of a flawed team. I don't think they're a perfect team, but I do think the Knicks are the better team in this series, and I think that'll kind of show as we go on here. But I do think the Hawks will win a game or two.
All right. The Lakers Rockets is basically a series of guys that aren't playing. We have no Austin Reeves.
Crazy, yeah.
We have no Luka Doncic, and then at the very last minute,
who knew Durant was going to miss a game? I know.
Knee injury, right? Was it knee? I can't even keep track.
Knee injury. They said, yeah.
I mean, he's not Anthony Davis, Humpty Dumpty, but he definitely is reaching fabled territory of an egg that falls off of a wall and has to be put together again and again. And I'll give LeBron credit, man. I have some snarky things to say about LeBron. Here they are. Classic LeBron, when he can be the leading guy against a team with no superstar, looks like the best player in the league. He was great. I mean, LeBron was great because there's obviously, he's the dude. 19 points, 8 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 steals, and a block on 9 of 15 shooting in a playoff game.
Pretty good, yeah.
Is he 42? I can't even keep track of his age. I think I'm conflating that with Aaron Rodgers. Is he 40? Let's look it up. LeBron James, I should know this.
Is 41.
41. As of yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's right. His birthday's in December. Yeah. It's sound and fury signifying nothing because there's no Kevin Durant out there. I mean, they did beat him pretty handily. Do you like the Lakers? I still think the Rockets should win this year. If there's no Luka and there won't be Austin,
they should win. The
Rockets should. There's no excuse.
I agree, especially with a healthy Durant. I guess we'll see if we get a healthy Durant in games 2 or 3. Yeah, I just feel once the Lakers had those 2 injuries, the season kind of ended. I don't really have any expectations. Maybe they squeak by the Rockets, but anything after that obviously is going to really not matter too much, as they will have the Oklahoma City Thunder in the next round. But yeah, I guess I was impressed with Luke Kennard. He had a nice shooting game. Has to come from somewhere.
He had 30, right? Yeah.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton had a good game. He made a lot of baskets, had a bunch of rebounds. So he he's hit or miss, obviously, as we know DeAndre Ayton these days. But LeBron was, it's kind of like a classic LeBron.
He created, man. Yeah.
I was going to say like a Magic Johnson type of game where he doesn't have to score 40 points, but he can have a bunch of assists and set up his teammates and lead them to the win. But I don't know. They'll probably win this series if Durant isn't 100% healthy. If Durant is healthy, it'll probably be a 6 or 7 game series. I would probably favor the Rockets.
I still like the Rockets, but it's hard to. We don't know.
Hard to know what Durant is. Yeah, it's hard.
I'm gonna hot take you here, and I hate the expression, but I'm just gonna give you my view of this. You said that Jamal Murray is this rare player who's mediocre. Fine, good,
sure.
in the regular season and extraordinary, historically great in the playoffs. Whatever the inverse of that, the opposite of that is Kevin Durant. And I know everybody yelling at me that well, now they don't yell as much because the people that listen to this pay for this, but it's okay. You can yell at me still. And thank you for your support, BillWriter.substack.com. Durant has 2 Finals MVPs. I got it. He's the most underwhelming all-time great of all time. And we know the whole story about how he basically rode the coattails of Steph and joined that team. Dude, his lack of success away from the Warriors, his ability to choose his destinations to maximize his ability to succeed, the fact that he's on a Rockets team that was literally in need of one thing, scoring, people that can create their own offense in the playoffs when transition buckets kind of go away and defenses become a little more focused, and it's more of it's a more physical game. You saw that in the Spurs game. It's just a more physical game. So guys got to be able, guys that can go out there and create their own shot, create their own offense. That is what the Rockets did not have last year. Durant better win this series, dude, because it'll be the ultimate indictment for me of his game, of his excellence, of his career, of what he's about. All right, jumping through these other games. I don't think we have to talk Celtics, Sixers, do you? The Celtics are amazing. The Sixers are not. And I don't know anything about an appendectomy other than you have your appendix out. Why is he not playing?
Yeah, that was like a week and a half ago.
What is going on? Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah. I mean, it is Embiid, so I guess whenever he doesn't play, I'm not really too surprised.
Right. It doesn't matter, even if he does.
The only thing I'll say about this is I think I'm at a point where if it's Celtics or the field to win the East, I'm going to take the Celtics. And that includes the Knicks, that includes the Pistons, that includes all the, Magic, whoever else you want to throw in there. I would at this point be pretty surprised if they don't represent the Eastern Conference in the finals.
I took the Hornets to make the conference finals. They're not even in the playoffs, so I'm obviously in agreement with you. There aren't a lot of great teams out there.
Yeah.
If you could take the Thunder or the field right now, what would you do? I'm taking field.
I would for the Thunder to field to win it all. I would take the Thunder. I think it's close because there's a lot of you got the Spurs in there, you got the Nuggets, and you got the Celtics.
Plus Celtics feel like at least 51-50. Okay, I love where your head's at. Speaking of the Thunder, they destroyed the Suns 119-3. That wasn't the actual score, but that's what it felt like. That's all that I really want to talk about as it relates to that game. Anything else you want to add? They're really good.
Yes, one thing that kind of I was thinking about is we talk about Wembanyama and how much of a freak of nature he is. And I feel like Chet, because of Wemby, is kind of not underrated, but we forget how much of a difference maker he is. And I'm just talking more about like massive guy in the paint, gonna chain shots, block shots, a guy who was a top 2 pick. Yep. I think that has just we kind of look differently at him if there wasn't a Wemby, but because there's a Wemby, we kind of forget how good Chet is. And he's also on a great team with a bunch of other really great players, including SGA and Jalen. So Jalen Williams, it's just one of those things where this Thunder team is just unbelievable.
I mean, dude, I'm looking at them right now. They're insanely talented, man. It's just like Jared McCain. I mean, just like guys that don't even play anymore, that are capable of being really, really good.
I mean, that bench, you have the other Jalen Williams, you have Caruso, you have Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, who was a lottery pick. Like you said, McCain.
McCain would have been rookie of the year last year.
They could play 10 or 11 guys, and you don't bat an eye. And, they're going to have a lottery pick from the Clippers this year. And just because they need another lottery pick, here we go. Another lottery pick for the Thunder.
And then we've talked Magic Pistons a little bit. I mean, just the fact that I took I really like that Hornets pick. By the way, that pick is right if they get into the 8th seed, if they get through, if they win those games, and then Spurs Blazers. Do you okay?
Do we think between the Spurs, Thunder, and Celtics that either of these 3 teams will lose a game in the first round?
Give it to me again.
Spurs, Thunder, Celtics. I think the Celtics would be the best bet to lose a game.
I think the Spurs will.
They'll lose a game. Oh,
I think
the Blazers have. Yeah,
I think there's a learning curve. They've been in the playoffs in a while.
Yeah,
I mean, I know they won by whatever it was, 12 or 13 today, but I can't. 111 to 98. 13.
Yep.
There was a point where at the end of the first half, the end of the second quarter, and the start of the third quarter, Portland went on I don't even know, dude, like 11-0 or 13-0 run and basically made a game of it. And then San Antonio took over. I think Portland's really good and young. I think they have nothing to lose. It's all house money, and I could see a gentleman's sweep where it's 3-0. It's game 4 in Portland.
They win a game.
They win a game.
no
Yeah,
place to play.
nothing competitive, nothing real. You think Boston could lose a game in that?
I think they could lose a game to the Sixers just because it's it's a rivalry. They have a couple good players. I don't know. I just feel like this, and the Celtics sometimes do this where they kind of take their foot off the pedal for.
That's true. They do that.
But again, I don't see any of these games. I think maybe between these 3 series, maybe there's 1 or 2 games that the underdog wins, but that's as far as you're getting.
All right, 2 things of negativity here because, and again, I'm just doing full disclosure, and I don't want to sound bitter or put out because I joke about not having a job. I have loved not having a job. It's actually been an amazing experience to spend time with my kids and to cook and to play tennis and to just generally hang out. But I watch more NBA probably than I want to the last 7 or 8 years, and so Stu, I want you to clock me if I over my skis here. Okay. All right. First thing, I was having PTSD to CBS Sports HQ hits where I was waiting for this game and the game wouldn't end and game wouldn't end and game wouldn't end. I was watching it, the last game on Sunday night. The games are too long, right? The games are too long.
They're too long. Yeah.
At the end, just
the end.
I don't know what the solution is, but they have to do something because the game was over and it took 30 minutes for the game to end.
You almost have to do something with the timeouts is one thing. Like the team call timeouts, like maybe at a certain point they're all 30-second timeouts.
Yeah.
Maybe at a certain point you can only use 1 or 2 after a certain amount of time.
I agree.
It's just you're right. It's just you're sitting through some of these games. These have to end at some point. These have to end. These games should be 2 hours and 10 minutes, not 2 hours and 30 or 2 hours and 35 minutes.
It's annoying when it's a 5-point game. When it's a 12-point game and the game's over.
Right. Yeah.
All right. And then my other thing, it's not even a negativity. I just want to ask you because how much we just went, I guess it is negative. We just went through the teams. None of us think there's any drama in the first round.
No.
I
think Pistons Magic is the closest we're going to get to
you would take the Thunder over the entire field. You would take the Celtics over the Eastern Conference field.
Yeah.
So you basically feel assured, and I think that you are correct. You're not pulling a Bill Ryder takes the Hornets. What the hell is he doing? Why is he drinking during the show? I wasn't. I don't think. Move. That's where we are.
Yeah.
That's where we are. Are the NBA playoffs interesting enough?
So I think once we get past this first round, I think they will be. Now, just because I think it's going to be Thunder Celtics, I do think these are going to be really good series. I think if you just give me right now, Spurs versus Nuggets, I think that's going 7.
It's a good series.
You give me Spurs versus Thunder, I think it's going 7.
Okay.
At least 6, maybe 6.
Are the Thunder going to play a good series before the conference finals?
No, because they're going to play the Lakers or Rockets, and they're going to win that probably in
4 or 5.
5.
Yeah. Are the Celtics going to play a good series? I mean,
I think the Knicks will push them.
The Knicks will be. I'm into that
I
series.
think it's a good series. I'm into that too.
Do you think it'll be a good series when they play the Magic in the conference? I mean, I'm really disrespecting Detroit here.
No. Even if they played it, even if it's the Pistons, I think they would win that in 5.
I do too.
6, but I'd say probably 5.
I think it's. I have no. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep doing the show and we'll see if my enthusiasm level increases. I am going to, after this fake break, tell you the best thing I've seen in the NBA in a year, and it wasn't a game. What a tease!
Ooh.
What a tease for the. We don't have to tease. It's a podcast. You can literally push the 30-second button to get through the ads that I'm about to play for you if you're not doing this on BillRutter.substack.com. Not that you should, but you can. We'll be right back. How long is up to you?
When he's right, he's right. You're listening to Righter Than You with Bill Ryder.
Oh, when he's right, he's right. Did you write that one? Are you the one that's guilty for that one?
I don't think I think I was the producer, but I feel like these were written by either Doug or David or Spitz. Someone I remember someone wrote them.
Never ever disrespect Eric Spitz,
no,
my guy.
I'm not disrespecting it.
I know, I'm just teasing.
I feel like these were given to us, and I was just like, oh, okay, I guess we'll play these.
All right. Have you seen? I saw it Sunday. It's so funny. And then I went and watched a bunch of his other ones, including with Anthony Edwards. Have you seen the Jalen Brunson, Caleb Presley thing?
Yes.
All
yeah.
right. So those of you who don't know, Caleb Presley is a former walk-on quarterback at like UNC he's a Barstool guy, right? I'm not a big Barstool guy.
Yeah.
And he has a Sunday interview show that is absolutely hilarious. And the first time I became aware of him is he interviewed Tom Brady, which I went back and watched the whole thing Sunday night. It was fine. But he asked Tom Brady if Bill Belichick's girlfriend needed a car rental to rent a car, would you rent it for her? Because of the assumption she's not, you have to be 25.
Sure, yeah.
and Brady lost it. It's very good. He does a thing with Jalen Brunson. I don't know, 8, 9, 10 minutes, the Sunday conversation. That is as funny as anything I've seen in a really long time. And it is, Jalen Brunson is so incredibly likable and funny. And I am sorry, Jalen Brunson, I disrespected you many years ago in your game. I think Jalen Brunson might be my third favorite player in the NBA after Wembanyama and Steph.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy talk, right?
I like his personality. I like his game. He's a gamer. Like he's a clutch player. He's all that kind of stuff that you kind of would want in your number one option as your star player. He kind of brings that all to the table. And the fact that he was kind of like not a nobody, but he was kind of like a forgotten, it was Luka's team in Dallas. They let him walk. We all know the story. And the fact he's become the player that he is pretty great. Yeah, I don't know if I'd put him in the top 3, but
of my favorite, not necessarily the best.
No, I understand.
But of like among, there's a great, so one of the bits that he does in there, that's not even, I just wanted to play it. One of the bits that he does in there is Keen Steakhouse, which I've never even heard of, but I guess it's amazing. They basically, the comedian, the podcast guy goes, "You're the king of New York," and Brett's like, "No." He's like, "No, you're the king of New York." No, that's you can get any reservation you want. No, that wouldn't be humble. And then he makes Jalen Brunson call this upscale restaurant and basically force and it works. And force a reservation. Have you seen this yet? You haven't watched the whole? Have you watched it?
I know, I watched it. Yeah, I saw it.
Amazing, hilarious. There's another part where, you know what, I'm not going to replay the whole thing because you can just go listen to it. But anyway, he's just making fun of Brunson. It's funny, it's clever, and it just made me realize how likable Brunson is. And you can see why he's a leader. You can see why he's overachieved. You can see why guys follow him because he's cool, but he's kind of humble and he's likable and he's hilarious. I don't know, man. Like I'm in. I send me a Jalen Brunson jersey and I'll wear it on the show. New York Knicks.
All right.
Bill Ryder on Substack.com is how you contact me. Stu,
I might have to DH gate you. I may have to DH gate you a Brunson jersey.
Have you been to Keen Steakhouse? I know you don't go anywhere in the city, but have you been there? Do you know what it is?
Keen Steakhouse, I have not. No.
I Googled it. It looked cool. It looks like it looks like a place I could never get into.
I don't know. You're pretty good at getting into. From my experience in the city with you, you are pretty good with getting
talking my way in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think there's a never.
Okay.
Where is it
I've never told you this before.
The Empire State Building.
I've never told you this before, and I don't want you to get mad.
Oh no.
Every time that we got in somewhere together in the city, we shouldn't have. It's because when I went up there, I told them that you were Bill Clinton's illegitimate son.
Okay. Great.
You were Billy Kovacs.
Why Bill Clinton gets started?
You can kind of see the resemblance now, right? Just the style, Hey, that's Billy Kovacs. Who? President Clinton's illegitimate son. The president,
They have a lobster bisque soup bowl. That looks kind of good.
Oh,
I just Googled key
to
see like where. Yeah.
I feel like you're not embracing the illegitimate son of Bill Clinton. What a life that would be. But the thing is, how would you?
I wouldn't know, right? Or I wouldn't
call, right? Like, how prove it?
I feel like I wouldn't get the perks that you would think you would get if you're the son of a former president.
That's a I know you don't watch films. That's a Beverly Hills Cop 2 ripoff by me, where they have to go into some strip club to chase a bad guy. Oh, poor Axel. Well, the job is so hard, but they can't get in. And then Axl Rose pretends that Taggart, who's one of the detectives, who's sort of a frumpy detective, is Gerald Ford's illegitimate son. I just stole it. It's just, oh no, I think he pretends that it is Gerald Ford. So I didn't steal it. I just took it to a whole other inappropriate level. Anything you want to hit before? Any baseball you want to hit? How's your fantasy? My fantasy team's terrible.
I made a trade with the Kluger.
Then you did badly. How did that?
I always feel the same way. Whenever I trade
down?
with Kluger, I'm like, he knows something I don't know, but he traded me Chase DeLauder for Otto Lopez. I don't know. It was kind of a trade to make a trade, if you will. I don't know if it really makes either of us any better, but yeah, I was 5-5 this week.
We were 2-8 against DiBenedetto, Jim Rome's executive producer.
2-8, I see that.
I had a weird dream the other night that I was hanging out with Jim Rome and his staff. That's my story. That's the end of the story.
That's fine.
I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
I used to send Tom notes to Benedetto when I had dreams about him, but then he got creeped out by it, so I stopped doing it.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a slow start to the season for my fantasy team. Not as bad as the Mets. I will say that the Mets have been
what an absolute
disaster.
As of yesterday, 11 in a row as of Sunday.
11 in a row as of yesterday. Wow.
And they are obviously one of the highest spending teams in baseball.
Yeah, and you look at it, and everyone likes to complain about the Dodgers, but they're not too far off of the Dodgers payroll-wise.
Just not well run.
And they're just not well run. And they don't have the leadership. They don't have, the Dodgers have Ohtani, and Freeman, and the Mets. It's just like, okay.
Can you fire Carlos Mendoza? Can you fire a manager in April?
I mean, that many games in a row. If they lose another one or two this week, I think you almost have to. And I don't even know if it's necessarily his fault. Like, it's probably more. You're probably more going to blame the GM and the construction of the team.
Yeah,
and the players not performing.
11 in a row.
It's a lot of games to lose in a row.
All right, so I'm heading to shortly. I'm heading to Barcelona, a place that I love. Obviously, I talked about it a lot on the air. We're gonna do a couple pods a week this week and next week, and then we'll try to get back to a better sort of better groove. So maybe Thursday. I can't remember. I think I scheduled one Wednesday or Thursday with you or Tommy. Was it Tommy? I think because you've got a bunch of SNY. Oh, there's a cat behind you. Your cat's in the shot.
I see.
That's her. I love it.
She's meandering around somewhere now behind me.
That's
I know we're live programming here. I can do Thursday. So if you want to do Thursday, I could do Thursday. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? That's a great shout by you. I almost pushed the wrong button. What a shock that would have been.
Live programming alert.
All right, so a little Thursday. Here's the problem, Stu. On Thursday, I'm gonna be. How early can you do it?
Could do I could do I don't know, 7. What are we thinking?
Yeah,
7 or 8?
a.m.? Yeah. Okay. What's crazy?
We're doing this live. This is great.
What's crazy is that's 4 a.m. to where I am right now. But it's such a great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for you, when you're going to be in Barcelona, that will be like noon, right? Yeah, it'll be.
No,
noon.
that will be 4 p.m. Wait. Oh, you're right. That will be 1 p.m. 6 hours ahead of you.
It's 6 out of it. I know it's 5 or 6. So it'd
perfect. Let's be waking up.
Sounds
I'm great at math and time zones. All right, that's a show. That's not.
That's not how we end the show, Bill. Come on.
Every show, Stu. All right, he's Stu Kovacs. I'm Bill Ryder, and the Hornets are not going to make the conference finals because check notes. They're not in the playoffs. They didn't make it to the playoffs. Thanks for listening. Happy Monday. We'll hope be back with a couple more shows for me from Barcelona this week.